So I was in San Francisco a few years working for a couple of major companies there, but I was making a lot of money. I bought a new car, cash, and things like that, and I didn't have a girlfriend. I was by myself. Every moment I was studying or working or billing hours. I didn't have a social life, and I wasn't doing anything to benefit the world. So it was kind of empty for me. I liked sushi. I would eat sushi a lot. My sushi chef was from China. And he told me, hey, you want to go on a holiday or whatever, why don't you come back? I'm leaving America. I'm tired of it here. I've been here 10 years. I don't like it. I want to go back to China. So you want to go back with me to my hometown and visit? I said, great. So we planned a couple of weeks there that I was going to stay and visit. And I was really impressed with the difference in the culture. And I fell in love with the idea of how these guys take it easy and enjoy life compared to working so hard all the time. The way that my friends were living in America were they were buying new SUVs and they were buying trophy wives and buying $5,000 watches, but they weren't happy either. I knew it, and I wasn't even going to go down that road. I wasn't going to get a new condo like they were. So I thought, I want to know the world. I want to adventure. I want to understand culture. I want to study languages. I don't want to stick in the same place and be one of these guys. I don't want to be those people. I want to try to be something different. I want to have a life with some meaning. So I left, and I went to China, 1999. And I started teaching English. I did the first initial 2-week visit. I liked it so much. I went back, sold everything, and went back to China. Fell in love with a girl while I was on the holiday there. And she and I got a place together. And I thought I was going to be able to continue IT, but I wasn't. So I had to find another way to make money. And I brought some money, but that was gone after a while. So I started doing public speaking. I was teaching English and teaching special English classes and getting involved in certain events where they wanted a foreign speaker to say something. So I did that in different cities in China. Then I got involved in separate projects. So I would go up to Inner Mongolia and do some special class there for a few months. Or I would do in Beijing, Dasha, one of the universities there. Or I did some also in Guangdong in the south. So I ended up traveling around teaching English. Friend of a friend, one of the people that I knew was an actor. He did some work in a movie. And he said, look, I can't make it. They want me to go to this city and do this thing, and I can't do it. You're qualified, go do it. So I said, great, I could be an actor, because I was an actor in school in America, and I loved it. And I got a chance to be a ham and get the cameras and act like I'm angry or crying or whatever. It was a lot of fun. I love it. So I have such a passion for acting, and I was so happy to do that. I ended up doing some TV shows and some movies and some TV specials that are celebrations of holidays where they needed some foreigners there. And I became kind of the token foreigner in some of these. And I became recognized on the street by a lot of people too. So that was kind of a cool thing. I felt like, wow, I'm a famous dude. But like Andy Warhol said, everybody gets their 15 minutes of fame. And mine lasted about 15 minutes and it was over. So after some work in China, I worked with some other businessmen there that were sponsoring trips and sending young people around to visit other countries or work in other countries, things like that. Because by that point I could speak Mandarin Chinese, I became a guy who was helping these kids travel. I would buy the tickets, I would set up the hotel rooms, and I would do all the communication necessary to help these kids travel. So I was involved in that. Part of that got me involved in going to Malaysia, and when I went to, and I'm getting involved in Thailand. So when I was no longer interested in working for those guys, I relocated in Thailand. In Thailand I did some English teaching, special classes, but I also opened a magazine. So I became a publisher and editor-in-chief of a small local magazine. I did most of the photography, most of the articles. It was just a small business that had about 6 issues. And then I ran out of money for the magazine, couldn't continue the magazine anymore. I mismanaged it as a businessman. I think it was a good product. I think I created a good product and people liked it, but I didn't manage the money properly. So I had to fold the magazine because I couldn't find investors that were offering deals that I felt were fair. So I went from Thailand in the magazine business to living in Malaysia and writing books. I wrote a book about China, my experiences there, and I started working more in community ideas and projects in Malaysia. I did little work on the side here and there. I made some money on the internet. I did little odd jobs and things, but I haven't had much money since I went to Malaysia and since I was after I finished the magazine in Thailand. I spent a little bit more time in China in 2007, but most of my time since then has been in Malaysia, working with businesses online, working with community projects, writing books, and now I have some new projects. One is as an SAP consultant, so I'm doing some consulting with very, very large companies that have factories that need to keep the equipment running in the factory. This is called reliability. So there are reliability systems and there are reliability modules that the software manages. So I help people to learn how to use the software, help people to write special modules, and I'm just still getting started in that, learning how to do that. That's for companies in the Middle East and companies in Asia. That is part of the territory that I've been assigned to. That work comes and goes and is growing. I'm also speaking with McDonald's right now about working with their team. They have 10,000 employees in Malaysia. They have 220 stores, and they plan on doing some expanding. And they need systems to help to increase the passion at their jobs and to increase the efficiency of what they're doing, and to help the employees have a better work ethic and learn how to treat the customers properly too, and better. And they also want to build a community in McDonald's so that the customers have a sense of community in interacting with McDonald's. So I'm working with the head of operations to put together some projects to address that. And also working with Rayhan Incorporated in working with some of their projects to increase the efficiency there, the satisfaction of their employees, help to build the brand, and help the company to work more smoothly and be more effective, and to grow, reach their goals more effectively, more efficiently. And that's it. That brings us up to today. So thank you very much for listening. I hope it wasn't too boring. I hope it was a little bit interesting, but that's basically my work history up to this point. Here we are in June of 2012.